Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Graham from Unearthed here. A little bit of a different film and a different theme today. The weather is absolutely atrocious. There's no detecting going on at the moment. Detecting talk has pretty much slowed up due to a bad dose of the man flu. So today we're going to do a small film on the finds that we can make out in the field with our detectors and some of the curiosities that we come across from time to time. And this film may be of help to you guys uncovering the past, a little bit of identification on certain things, and some possible answers to questions that people may have. Now, as you can see in front of me here, there's a small group of medieval casket keys. When I say medieval, I think this one here is slightly later in date. So I'm going to probably say this one is probably 17th century, I would say, judging by the style. But the rest of them, as you can see, are all medieval. Now, this is my theory. Every year, I come across these little casket keys out in the field, detecting. Sometimes I keep them and collect them. Sometimes I give them to the farmer, because obviously the farmers find them of interest. But they've all pretty much intrigued me over the years. Did they have a function, as in unlocking caskets, medieval caskets for people, or were they more of a good luck symbol that people wore around their necks? Now you can see quite a lot of these around the holes of the keys have got wear marks on, so I think these were pretty much worn round the necks with pieces of string. Some are pretty plain looking, like that one. That one's obviously a plain looking one. And then some have slightly more detail, but as you can see on this particular example here, I'm going to point to it, you can see the wear, how it's worn on the outer edge. So that's had quite a bit of use. Personally, I think keys in the medieval period were some sort of good luck charm. The key, was it a key to another world? The key to unlocking riches? Was it a key to unlock, who knows? They may well have had a function. Casket key function for little casket boxes, but I also think the medieval people wore them round their necks as a good luck charm. We seem to find these everywhere in the middle of nowhere, random fields. They just seem to be strewn across the landscape. As you can see, this one's got a little bit more detail about it, so it's got the lugs on the on the opposite end of the key, these three lugs, which makes it quite charming. The latest one I found is this one here, which I find quite nice with its detail. It's got a lovely patina on that one, and then of course we've got some that have got different stylized heads on them like this. So yes, the wonderful casket key, I think they epitomise medievalness. They are fantastic little finds. I will find them. I found these from as far up as Scotland, Cumbria, Lancashire, Norfolk, Lincolnshire, Wiltshire. So they're all over the country, all different styles. So there's just a small selection of the keys that can be found. Now, when we're on the subject of keys, this is a much more substantial one. I'm going to bring this into the limelight for you guys to see. Again, 14th century key, a lot bigger than its cousins, the casket key. Now, I think this would have had a function. This would have unlocked a rather large door. As you can see, it's a really substantial key, still in really good condition. Quite lucky to find it complete, because when I put this one next to it, this broken example, still got a bit of mud in there. Look at the size difference of that. Now that would have been a whopper. So that would have been almost twice as big as that key there. And that's obviously been broken off in antiquity. Broken many centuries ago, but look at the size of it. If that was full, that would have been some key. I mean, this thing's a really big key. That is just the next level. So if you ever come across things like this out in the field, and you wonder what they are, it's the business end of a key. Medieval in date. So there you go. There's a little bit of information about the keys. I do think these have some mystery about them. I do honestly think people wore them round the necks. It's like when your 21st birthday, you get the key, don't you? Key of the door is what they say, and you get these gifts in boxes with a key with 21 on it. You know, where's that come from? the key does represent something. I'm absolutely convinced. And we're talking about good luck charms. There's another little curiosity here I'm going to share with you. So you guys that have watched my early videos when Unearthed first set off doing these films may have seen this, so I do apologise if you've viewed this once before. But as you can see, way back in 2006, 2007, I unearthed this bent jetton from the 16th century. And it was covered in mud. I could see the jetton was bent. I could see some detail here, just around this edge, if I remember rightly, but I couldn't see anything else. However, when I looked under closer inspection, I found that inside the jetton was indeed a silver hammered coin hiding. If I gently pull this out, you can still see, there you go, you can still see the staining on the coin. Where it had gone in, that's the stain. If I can show you with these tweezers, that's the stain there of the jetton. So there was this bit here just peeping out of the side of the jetton. It was crimped, so the coin was stuck fast. Didn't take a great deal of effort to get it out, and it turned out to be a rather exquisite penny of Queen Elizabeth. Now I'll show you this. If I can just turn that over gently. There you go, folks. There she is. Still got the staining of the jetton, look. Brown staining on otherwise what would have been a lovely coin. It is actually a beauty because you can even feel the edge of the coin. It's got very little wear in there. And you can just see the bust in there. If it was cleaned, it'd be a lot better. You can see the Queen Elizabeth's head. And obviously see the unmistakable staining that it's got from the jetton being hidden inside there. So a terrific find. Now you've got to ask yourself, why was that coin crimped between that jetton like so? Who knows? It could be a good luck charm. It's got to have some significance. I have heard of them being found before, not many, one or two guys I've come across over the years have found coins hidden in jettons. Well, that's my first one for me, and it's always intrigued me. Now, moving away from that particular find now, just put that there. Another interesting find I made probably 4 or 5 years ago now was this, which is a tiny little medieval figure of a bishop. Now his hat or his headgear has been broken in antiquity again, probably by the plough, which is a great shame. But otherwise complete figure of a bishop. Now I think this was mounted into leather. As you can see on the back, there's a stud there, and there's probably a remains of another fixing or fitment at the bottom. If I can put that down and zoom in on it, you might be able to get better detail. It's actually got a little face there with his arms folded at the front. Now I find these glimpses of the past absolutely intriguing. I would rather find something like that than most coin finds. I love finding coins, but these little pieces of history, these artifacts, set it apart for me. So there you go, a little figure of a bishop. Who lost it? Who made it? Was it made in one of the cities, medieval cities workshops? Was it mass produced? Was it a one-off? Who knows? Was it gilded at one point? It's got quite a lot of detail in there. Even his robe has got lines down it at the bottom, as you can see. So if you ever come across anything like that, you know you're onto the medieval theme. I do remember finding 1 or 2 hammered coins in that particular field and 1 or 2 other medieval artifacts as well. So there's been quite a lot of going on in that particular field. Ancient footpath possibly, we think. But there you go, a little figure of a bishop. Unfortunately with his headgear broken. What a shame. Now we're on the theme of figures, casting back even further in time. This is from the Romano British period. Now that would have been a knife handle. So it's a figure. Again, I'll put it down. Let's see if we can get some detail off him. Looks like a little Lego figure, doesn't it? But what's intriguing for me is this little uniform he has on, with the 2V shape at the front, and he's obviously got a helmet on there. As you can see, real stylized helmet, a little face there, popping out. And when I found this, I was overjoyed because it's the first knife handle I'd ever found. And of course the knife would have been here, rotted away now. An iron blade would have come down here, and it would have been a little dagger or knife handle in iron bronze handle. And this is what remains. And as you can see at the back, still got his helmet on with detail there showing. What a little cracking find it is, isn't it? And you can see at the sides where the iron blade was, leaching out of the sides of the bronze handle. So if you ever come across anything like that, folks, now you know what it is. I have seen different ones come out of the fields in the past, but again, that was a first for me at the time. So there you go, folks. Something else of interest. On the theme of interesting things, look at this cockerel. Now, when I first found this, it was on an ancient part of a field that produced a lot of hammered silver coins and some artifacts, really intriguing artifacts. We think this has got some age to it. It's a cockerel. We think it might have been a child's toy, possibly a mount mounted onto leather. The possibility of it being a child's toy could be wrong. It could have had some significance. It's got lugs on the back. I think, judging by the detail and the stylisation of this, got to be 15th century, 16th century. Got to be. I've never seen anything like it. If we look at the fixings on the back, we can see one there at the top still sharp and one in the middle still sharp. There was a theory at one time that this might have been a part of another one stuck. You know, this is just part of it, and there would have been another one mirror imaging it at the back. I don't think it is. That's been put onto leather. That's been mounted at some point. So an intriguing find again from the past. That, judging by that condition and the style and the patina and the workmanship, it's got to be late medieval in date. Right, there you go, folks. If you ever come across anything like that, again, you have an idea what it is. I'm still going for the mount rather than a child's toy. I just think that's got some significance about it. Right, we're going to do this in 2 parts. This is part 1. Next week we're going to do part 2 with more interesting finds. And I hope you enjoyed this little film of intriguing artifacts from the past. Okay, keep watching, folks. Many thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Take care.